Hey everyone, this is Book Crazy Katie. Today's video is the Face on the Milk Carton review.
Hey everyone, it's Book Crazy Katie, and today I am reviewing The Face on the Milk Carton by Caroline B. Cooney. I first heard about this book many years ago, probably in 8th grade or before that. However, long before that, probably by the time I was like 8 or 9 years old, I had been watching this movie on TV and was really captivated by the movie. And so when I saw this recently at a thrift store, I snatched it off the shelf and was just like, I have to read this, and was so excited to read it. And at first, when I started in the book, I was like, oh, this is really easy. It appears to be really young, targeted towards a young audience, but that's alright. Even though it's supposed to be like young adult, it was reading like it was supposed to be more middle grade. And so I was really excited to read it. And then as I was reading it, it started to get a little draggy. Not very much seemed to really happen in this book, and a lot more happens in the movie. And at first I really didn't understand like why nothing was happening, or I was like, oh, maybe it'll be in the second half or the last quarter. At some point while I was reading this book, I happened to be looking at my Goodreads when I was updating it, and I noticed that it said Janie Johnson #1, and there was like 5 or 6 more books in this series, or 4 or 5, something like that. And I think that's maybe how the movie got its storyline. I don't think that the movie was strictly based off of this first book. I think it took the whole series together and made a movie, and it was a lot more cohesive, and I felt a lot more empathy towards the main character. One thing I was struggling with the main character, which before maybe I start telling you what I was struggling with her, I should tell you what the story is about. So this book is about 15-year-old Janie Johnson, maybe almost 16-year-old Janie Johnson, discovering that she may have been kidnapped, and she saw her face on a missing picture on a milk carton at school. She has been allergic to milk for as long as she can remember, not really supposed to drink it, but she likes it and she wanted some. And so her friends started to joke around that she was the girl on the milk carton, and because she sort of looked like her. And then she was looking at it and she's like, I think that might be me. And then everybody's like, you really think that's you? And they just, waved it off. And so she kind of kept it a secret from everyone but her kind of boyfriend. Not really sure what to call him. But her whole, like, I'm not going to tell any kind of adult what's happening to me, or try to figure out the whole scenario, really bugged me. And then when she finally did talk to her parents about it, she still didn't quite believe their story about what happened. They tell her about them being her grandparents instead of her parent, and she didn't like really put 2 and 2 together that maybe their daughter could have been the kidnapper. So she was thinking, oh, I think my parents might have kidnapped me, but I love them, so I don't really know. I don't know these people in New Jersey. So I'm just gonna kind of blah 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 and keep all this stuff to myself. And so the whole book she kind of spends whining, and it gets a little annoying, and it's one of those classic, why don't you tell an adult, whether it's an adult at school, the police, or somebody about this, like, don't just keep it to yourself. Let people know what's going on. And I don't know if it's that I'm almost 30 that makes it see this kind of storyline get more annoying to me. Another thing I had with this book is, at first it seemed like it read very simple and easy, and then I started noticing that there were grammar mistakes, and then I was also feeling like it tends to have a lot of passive sentences in it instead of being active in voice. Some of the emotional responses in this book from her and other characters don't seem very realistic considering the situation. Feeling when she talks to her parents and finds out that like they're not her actual parents, she's just kind of like happy and easygoing about it, and they're just kind of lackadaisical, and they just have this whole like conversation in the living room that seems very unrealistic in the way that it would be handled, and doesn't seem like there's all that many tears and emotion behind it going. And I know that that is the kind of thing that causes some traumatic experiences when you find out that something about your family life isn't what you grew up believing it was. Another thing I had issue with this book is that Jamie has this boyfriend or guy friend that she kisses, and it seemed like more often than not he was just trying to have sex with her and just trying to take it further instead of really caring that she is going through this very traumatic experience. And it's very obvious that you're still supposed to see him in the good light and think that he's an awesome dude. And I didn't quite feel like that when he just seemed to, every few pages, to have seemed like he was trying to get in her pants. So, unfortunately for me, this book didn't sit well with me, and I didn't really enjoy it that much. I didn't completely hate it, but at the same time, like, I couldn't give it like even a 3-star rate. I'd say probably 2 stars and out of 5, and I feel like I'm being pretty generous with that 2 stars. So if you've read this book, please let me know. Or please like, comment, and subscribe to this channel, and please share with your friends. Thank you. Bye.